How do you deal with your schedule changing last minute? What did you do with the boys? How do you adapt to your game being called off?
We weren't too bad because we were at home. The park wasn't like for a contact. We couldn't play in the park because of the contact, but we could still get some straight line running in. So we managed to get a fitness session into the boys on the park. But if it came to a contact sport, then it was obviously the game was off because of that.
Talk to us about the postponement, because some people look at it and say artificial pitch, it should always be playable, but that's a bit naive at times. There's more to it than that.
Well, if you look at just Livingston in general, it's quite a high altitude, we're quite high up, but the stadium's caught in a wee valley, so we had -8 4 nights in a row, and the sand base underneath the artificial surface was frozen solid, and it was like a concrete. The sprinkler system's something like 12 inches to 16 inches deep below the surface, and that was frozen solid as well, so that gives you a kind of idea of how cold it was here.
To football matters, a trip through to Celtic, not easy, but last season you did go and get a result. Great shape, great form on the day, real structure to how you played. How much work goes into setting yourself up like that?
A lot more than what people think. People think just sitting in a low block's easy. Everybody's got to do their job. It's a very disciplined shape, and everybody within that shape's got to be very disciplined and stay in the right areas. But you're coming up against a Celtic who, for me, are the team to beat this season. I think Ange's done an incredible job last year to win the league, but I think he's kicked on again this year. I look at managers all over, and I look at them and say, how do you judge them? You judge them on performances, but you also judge them on, do they make players better? I think hand in heart, I can look at Celtic just now, I can look at Ange and say, there's not a player in that building that I think Ange has not improved. I think he's done a fantastic job with him. He's probably got the best midfielder in the country, or one of the best midfielders in the country, in Callum McGregor, returning to form, so it's going to be a difficult game.
Do you look at the game at the weekend and just remind yourselves of the fact you need to stay switched on, even if you are trying to defend deep and keep them out, they keep going and often find a way?
You hear them talking about themselves. I think he's got that within the full squad, relentless. It's a word we use in here ourselves, is relentless. Ange has got them. I remember I was doing the radio for the Dundee United Celtic game, and I was watching the game live, and it was on the radio, and it was 2 each. I think it got back to 2 each, and I thought, Celtic haven't had a lot of shots on goal, and I was like, something like 5 minutes left, and they won 4-2. So that shows you how relentless they are. They keep going. Listen to Callum's interview after the Aberdeen game, and he said they're very, very patient in what they do, and that's probably one of the biggest things with Ange is they're relentless. They keep going, they don't stop until the referee blows that whistle.
But that said, your team are one of the best in the division, I think, maintaining a shape when you get it right. You've had some good results, mentioned the one at Celtic, went to Ibrox this season, perhaps should have won. Yeah. Is that a help or a hindrance now, because people expect a little bit of you in these big games?
I think you're going into the games and you're not a surprise anymore, so maybe even the Celtic team, the Celtic manager, they're maybe going into this they're going into our game in a wee bit more detail. I think Ange has actually said he doesn't take any game any different from any other game. But I've found the Celtic players a wee bit more intensity, and they're giving us a little bit more respect. So by giving us a little bit more respect, it's probably adding to their own game. They're putting a lot more detail into the game.
But finally, a massive compliment to Livingston that there is that expectation on you that people regard you as a real threat when you come in and set up at these big grounds.
Yeah, but that's brilliant. It's fantastic for the players and the staff at the club. It's a difficult job. Everybody thinks it's easy just going sitting in a certain type of shape. I've went to Ibrox, I went to Parkhead, played 4-3-3s, played wingers, played attacking centre mids. You fall into a low block because you have that much possession. You only need to look back to the Real Madrid game. The first 60 minutes, Celtic at Parkhead actually had Real Madrid sitting in nearly it was a mid to low block, and it shows you how dominating they are in games of football. But we're more than capable of getting points for these games. We're very competitive, and we'll go there. We'll have a game plan, and we'll try and take something from the game.